We are indeed going live. For the GT Manufacturer Series on the west of Barcelona, coming right at you now. Bobby, I do not have any Barry White. Plus, if I played that on stream, I'd get copyright strike. So I have to play the royalty-free stuff, which is always terrible. So I apologise about that. But that's unless you guys are going to pay me, this year's stuck with this. So tonight, then, round number 7 from Barcelona, back in the GT3 cars tonight. So more power. We're going to be getting underway in just a moment, so I haven't got long. So we'll jump straight into the action. But welcome along if you're here. I know Bobby's in the chat. I don't know who else is going to jump in. Get you up on my phone, actually. Just do a bit of a volume check while we're here. Yeah, we sound okay. So let me know in the chat if the volume ever goes a bit weird. We're about ready to jump on with the action. Before we do that, though, let's have a look at how the points stack up. So, standings then. Jumping into this one. Tommy Concrete. No, you don't. I'm joking. I don't want pain. Tommy Concrete leads the way. Dramatically so as well. 192 points. But importantly, massively importantly, he is not here tonight as far as I'm aware. He is missing from the standings. So, this is Hirocrom's. Hirocrom's got to take the most out of this, and then it's going to bring it down to a final shootout on the mountain. So make sure you are checking it out. I think Tommy Concrete, I think he's away or something, isn't he? So it's gonna juice it up a bit. Alright, James has pressed the start final button, so let me just pause you and we'll get you on track. This is the sprint race, of course. I'll explain it as we go. So the sprint race, the order of this was decided last week by the results. So reverse grid, of course. No Tommy. No Tommy. Evening, Connor. Volume's good, thank you. Right, so first race, first of two, is a 15-minute, no pit necessary sprint to the line. So the revs are starting to rise. Then I don't think we see lights here. Oh, there we go. We do see lights at Barcelona. Lights out and away we go. The McLaren there of LFC fan gets a bit of a poor start. The Mercedes do normally get away quite well, but it's the Dodge of Total Rose leading us down. Then it's Fat Picklesbro and the other Mercedes. Mental Love's down in P8 and the other one. And then it's two Subarus near the back. We've got one of the Citroens there poking its nose out. That's Dart Clark. Mental Love initially lost a position there to V-Show, but he's reclaiming it back up a little bit. We're hoping that James Harbour can have a better show of it tonight. He's currently in P8 in the Porsche. That car should work well here. You've got no volume on the thingy, so let me just give you that. My apologies. That should be better. You should be able to hear the game now. Sorry, I muted it. Total Rosso still leading the way. Fat Picklesbro P2 for Buki, then up to P3. Another driver that's hoping to pick up some good points from tonight. P1 Don in 4th. LFC fan being shuffled down to 5th now after that McLaren's poor start. V-Show and Bobby battling away. Bobby round the outside down at turn 6, I think it is. He's had to give that one up. He might try and get the Subaru on exit though. That Lexus is an absolute tower of power. It goes for the switchback. The Subaru's got to concede that position. That's a good move by Bobby. James Harbour hanging on then against Mental Lev. Then it's Dart Clark. Hirocrom in 11th with Toby, Richie and Shellshock down in 14th, having just made a mistake. Any moves going on a little bit further back. We've got V-Show then trying to show Bobby the ropes. V-Show having a bit of a resurgence then. He's having to battle away with P1 Don now. But Bobby doesn't escape away in the lead. Next target for Bobby is LFC fan. He's doing it for the Lexus crew tonight as everyone negotiates the final chicane for the first time of asking. That chicane is where a lot of penalties may be picked up tonight. Toby's making his way then past James Harbour. Unfortunately, he's going backwards in this race so far. Here we come then up to P11. Let's ride on board with the man who's P2 in the championship. Currently P11 in the race. He'll be wanting to pick up maximum points. Of course, the results from this race dictate the starting grid for the feature. so it is important. It's only 15 minutes, it's not a lot of time. A lap here at Barcelona is about 1 minute 45-ish. I had a race here on the Assetto Corsa Competizione last night. We were doing 146s in the Assetto Corsa, so 145s, 144s around here should be the order of the day. That's the times we should be looking for. Dark Clark there, who's Tommy Concrete's teammate, is currently leading a bit of a Citroen train away at the moment. He's at the moment he's got Hirochrome. Oh no, that's Toby. Dark Clark at the moment, yeah, he's the Lexus there just nudged its way through. The McLaren's got to give him room. A little bit of a tap, but that's about okay, I think. I don't think Hirochrome could do much to avoid that one. Toby might well just try and keep this position down at the hairpin. A little bit of a tap there as well. That's what's good for the goose is good for the gander then, as Toby's trying to put the Lexus back in its place and hopefully get a little bit of support from P1 Don. Moving back up to the front, Totoro's doing this fine job so far. Totoro's, that Lexus riding the curbs like a dream. Then you got Fubuki now up past Fat Pickles boat in P2. The Mercedes probably a little bit too cumbersome for this circuit. I drove it last night and it's in a different sim, but it felt very lumpy. Then we've got Mental Nev there a little bit further back, going for a move on Richo. Purple Mercedes down the inside. Richo in that super should have good grip on it as he drifts it through and proves me wrong. Then you've got Toby and Hirochrome still battling away there. Toby is not going to let this go easily, and Hirochrome's got it all cut out for him today. That Lexus is a big old lump of a car. James Harbin then down in P12 now, battling away with Richie and P1 Don. Shellshock still last of the order at the moment, and a fair way back unfortunately for the American. Down in P14, had an issue somewhere in the opening lap. In fact, I think we did see him, didn't we, down at turn 7. But as the drivers filter their way down, then it's Totoro's ahead of Fubuki. These two teammates in past seasons, of course, now operating for different teams. Fubuki might well pick a penalty up for going so far out of track limits. Yeah, he does pick a penalty up for that. Not sure on whether they can overtake with that penalty, but they certainly have to burn it off within 2 laps in this league. The rules are a little bit different. Bobby then P4 has got LFC fans, so Bobby is on a charge tonight. Fastest lap of the race as well for Bobby at 44.4 for the Lexus. So the Lexus does have pace in clear air, but Hirochrome's problem is he doesn't have that clear air. He's got a McLaren at the moment blocking his path at every single conceivable opportunity. The McLaren team, of course, kind of the sister team of the Citroens, in a sense that sort of almost partnered, so to speak, and Toby, for that sense, will want to do is make Tommy Concrete a bit of a solid and give Hirochrome just a bit of a hard time. It's all been fair in love and war at the moment, though. There's been absolutely no issues between the two. They've not been banging each other off circuit. And at the moment that it does put Hirochrome through. It's James Harbin then still fighting away with Richie and P1 Don. James hanging that Porsche around the outside, doing a fine job of it as well. Just not enough room for Richie to slip in behind at the moment. But he's going to try and have a bit of a look down at turn 4. No room at the end. James nice and late on the brakes. The top two starting to spring a little bit of a gap then ahead of Fat Pickles, who's getting caught by Bobby. Bobby's got a little bit of a penalty. Not a big one. We're not far off halfway through this race already, and Hirochrome's not even broke into the front pack yet. He's starting actually now to just lose away. He's 1.7 seconds behind Dark Clark. Podium for Clarkey tonight. It's not going to happen in this race, but in race 2 it's definitely possible. We've seen the Citroen team have pulled off some strategic masterclasses so far. Interlagos definitely springs to mind when I talk about that. And Bobby is slowly gaining on Fat Pickles, but not by a lot. Pickles is pulling away in some sectors and losing it in others. So the top fight order definitely not resolved yet. Hirochrome is lumping time out of Dark Clark because he's stuck in this train. That is just allowing Hirochrome to reel up to the back of them. Now, Hirochrome's problem is he needs to make these moves quick, or Toby will have a go back at him. Equally, it's not like any of these drivers are slow. Now Hirochrome is free of Toby's grasp. He went fastest to 44.1. The fuel, of course, burning away now. means the cars are getting lighter. The tyres haven't got too much wear on them. Barcelona's very front limited, i.e. the front tyres will give out relatively quickly here. It's going to play into strategy later on. It's probably not worth a 2-stop though, in fairness. You probably still will lose too much time, but the drivers definitely will have that option on the table then as Hirapan continues to reel in Dark Cloud, but Toby is right there still. Totoro's still leading the race, I will add. He's kept that gap to Fubuki pretty consistent, is the word I was looking for there. Can't get my words out tonight, but as Dark Clark then has made his way past Mental Nev. And Mental Nev is now Hirocram's next natural target. Mercedes driver does have pace by the bucket load, so he won't be an easy man to get past. Of course, this being the top split, it's not easy for any of these guys, though, as Hirocram does take advantage of a scuffle going on ahead between Dark Clark and LFC Fan. These two fighting is helping Hirocram behind, because it just means that he's got the extra slipstream, and they were put off down into the hairpin. So Hirocram slides past Mental Nev then. Mental Nev's going to have a pop back at him. There is room, there's plenty of respect there, I think. No issues observed as Hirocram now right up the back end of LFC Fan. He's putting on a bit of a show, is Hirocram for us tonight. He's making overtakes by the bucket load, but it's Mental Nev though who's going to try and get a move made. Down the inside, they're all over the place though. It's Dark Clark, it's LFC Fan, it's Mental Nev, it's Hirocram, all battling for the same piece of tarmac. Dark Clark is going to come out ahead of everybody else though. Hirocram might be lucky not to lose positions here though, actually, as Toby's might take advantage now of the battling that's going on. Talking that much, my voice is starting to go already. It's setting off a nice tone for the night if my voice is going, and we're only, what, 9 minutes in? There's been contact. I think there was Mental Nev collected in that. We might go back and have a look at that if we've got time, but Hirocram is all the way through. There is a little bit of a dive there back by LFC Fan. I think there was the room though for him to make it. Hirocram's just going to go straight back at him now. Oh, there's contact again. I don't like this, boys. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Hirocram's next potential target then is just to have a go back down to the bottom. The problem is though, this is the front of the pack at 10 seconds ahead. Hirocram's just not going to have the space. Late on the brakes there by the Lexus driver. LFC Fan still turns in though. I'm gonna have to say he should have given the space there. LFC Fan's going to lose a place to Mental Nev. From what I saw there, it definitely looked like LFC Fan probably just didn't even see him there. It's definitely how it looked from the replay cameras then, as Toby's even got past his teammate now. Meanwhile, at the front, Totoro's, come on mate, 4.5 minutes. Come on, pal. You know what, Totoro's pace has been phenomenal. Mid 44s, consistent as you like. Totoro's, take a bow, son. Fat Pickles Bro and V-Show now fighting away for that P4 spot. Pickles just ahead, then it's Dark Clark in 6th. Hirocram then has escaped the pack. P7 for Hirocram at the moment. It's a question of whether he can catch Dark Clark or not. He's got to try. Dark Clark's last lap was a 44.4. Hirocram's got his work cut out catching him, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Geno, evening Geno. Happy to see you. See what I did there? Oh, Mental Nev abusing track limits. Much as you like. Then you got LFC Fan and Mental Nev, not Mental Nev, and Richie fighting away. Then you've got James Harmon P12 at the moment. Still decent pace for James. I think he just got caught out in a lot of other battling at the start. Then you got P1 Don 13th. Shell Shock, sorry Shell Shock, we've not seen too much of you, but there has been a lot of battling going on up ahead. Meanwhile, Totoro's unfortunately has been getting caught by Fubuki as the race wears on. Probably another couple of laps to go. Bobby then holding 3rd at the moment ahead of V-Show. There's been an incident, there must have been an incident somewhere. We've got Fat Pickles Bro down in 6th now. Well, now 7th, battling away with Hirocram. There was no room at the end there. Now let's go back and have a look at what happened from Pickles' cam. He was running 6th, yeah. little bits of side-by-side contact. Pickles just tried to hang it around the outside, but just ran out of room. P9 now for Mr. Pickles, who's getting rid of a penalty, and that might have been why he slowed down, you know, he was getting rid of penalties. Total Rose has had that one for at least a lap. Fabuki's got one as well, so that's going to help. Heracran v Dark Clark, he has gained on him, but not by a lot, by about half a second there or there. Oh my god. As Heracran goes even faster. Toby's still ahead of Mental Nev, who is still ahead of Richie. Fat Pickles now back in up and running in 10th place. Ahead of LFC Fan in 10th, who's been harried by James Harben, who's got a bit of a gap ahead of P1 Don. So a couple of little things to keep an eye out for then is Total Rose with one more lap after this remaining, as about 8 tenths ahead of Fabuki. Bobby starting to come under a little bit of pressure from V-Show now. Who in turn is getting pressured by Dark Clark. Bobby might be playing the team game here, just because Bobby's last lap he slowed down by 2 seconds. Is Bobby backing everyone up into Heracran to give his teammate one last shot at picking up some places? Because I'll tell you what, Heracran has caught this pack very fast. In that last lap, he's in the pack now. So Heracran should get some slipstream then from Dark Clark as we start the final lap. Bobby then having to defend away to V-Show. V-Show might just go back for a move here. No, he's going to be sent the long way round. Heracran not managed to reel himself in that quickly. But it's Bobby holding third at the moment, ahead of V-Show, Dark Clark, and now Heracran, who I guarantee will try and get past Dark Clark before the end of the lap. Other battles we've got going on are Mental Nev v Richie and LFC Fan v James Harben, all settling off. And we've also got Total Rose v Fabuki. Total Rose has got rid of that penalty now, so has Fabuki. Half a lap to settle it for those boys. Although you would argue that Total Rose is nice and comfortably ahead. Then this battle for third, which is Bobby V-Show, Dark Clark and Heracran. It's as it was when we last checked in on them, but Bobby has been doing a fine job for us. If that's what he's been doing, Bobby's basically bought his teammate an opportunity here to pick up some extra positions. He's made himself vulnerable though. This is a risky strategy by the Lexus outfit. Bobby goes extremely defensive. V-Show's thinking which way he wants to go. He's going to try and hang it round the outside and make the Lexus slow off the corner. It's a lovely move by V-Show. Can't make it pull off though, and Heracran does manage to sneak up the inside. But it's going to be Heracran v V-Show. What can Heracran do on the outside? He made him move around here with Fat Pickles by a lap or so ago. Bobby's going to have to try and just get in V-Show's way, I think. Just 3 more corners to go then. Has Heracran run out of space to do anything about it? Dark Clark can always have a slap back at him. That was important. That was very important, as Total Rose does finish out of Fabuki. It's Bobby in third, V-Show in 4th place, Heracran in 5th, Dark Clark in 6th, Toby finishes 7th, Richie 8th, Mental Nev in 9th, Fat Pickles Bro is 10th, with LFC Fan in 11th, ahead of James Harben in 12th, and P1 Don in 13th, with Shell Shock in 14th. Oh my god, that was chaotic. That was nuts. But and I'm sorry to say this, Aaron, and I know you'll forgive me to a degree. I barely saw you that race. The battle behind you was something else entirely. But kudos where kudos is due to now 2nd time Infinity GT Manufacturers race winner, Total Rose, ladies and gentlemen. Take a bow. That was yeah, that was something else, that. Yeah, that was nuts. Well done, big boy. Yeah, Total Road Team Games. Yeah, well, that's the name of the game, isn't it? It's fair. You can do. There's nothing. It's not against the regulation. We do see it. We have seen it happen before in this series, haven't we? With other teams, granted, but normally Heracron's been Heracron and Tommy Concrete have just pissed off into the distance, and everyone else has been picking up scraps, really. So in terms of what that does for points, now it's important to remember that you don't earn. No, I'll show you. All right, mate. You just race, dude. I'll just come back. Need help on the race. I won't be sarcastic. You might be having a bit of a bad day. Owen! Yeah, mate, he did a spanking job. I will just take a screenshot of these for you, Dave, because I know you might need them. So let me just do that, and then I can send them you if you need them after the race. I'll get you the feature ones as well. Yeah, so you don't earn as many points for the sprint race, do you? So it's still all to go. Are you, yeah, because I think it was in, I skim read the group chat earlier, because I must be honest, Connor, mate, I mute every single group chat I'm in, because of sim racing, I think I counted it at the start of the season, I was in about 90. And that's not an exaggeration. I'm in that many. So I mute them all. And I just go and look for the ones I want when I need them, sort of thing. And I think I read in there somewhere that you're in a hotel. Can't remember. $10 to 1 for top 10. So Heracron will have earned. Right, so Heracron's earned 5 points off that. So that gives him a roll in one. That puts him with a point behind Tommy Concrete. Of course, he'll earn more points than Tommy Concrete this week, but it's basically going to send it all down to the last race at Bathurst. And then we'll try and work out some permutations as to what needs to happen for either driver to win as well. Down in London, mate, hotel Wi-Fi's trash. It's rarely the speed though, is it? It's the bandwidth that they give you, because you just don't get any. You can't get enough packet size through. I'm thinking I did when I was in Tunbridge Wells, I think, for work ages ago. I tested the Wi-Fi, and like speed was 300 megabytes per second, but it buffered up because that many people are using the same connection. It was crap. So, just to let you know then, if you're new to this, I mean, I'm assuming that everyone that's watching now is either involved in this, you typically the way it is, but you know, if you've stumbled on this video by accident while you were looking for Jimmy Broadbent or someone good, this is the Infinity GT Manufacturers Series, so every week, every Tuesday, for the next 2 weeks anyway, this week and next week, and then it's finished. They have a sprint race every night, every Tuesday night, and then a feature race, and it all adds up into a championship. The championship I can give you is here. This is the standings before the race you've just seen. So it hasn't been updated live because they have to get checked and incidents checked and everything like that. We've only got, the thing that's spicy and interesting about this is Citroen have kind of been running away with this. For the past, well, you can see on point, Citroen's 293 points. Citroen have got like a 20-point advantage in the Manufacturers' Championship. That and the Drivers' Championship are going to be so close going into the final round because of drivers having to miss and having bad week, bad days and stuff. So it's gonna bring it right down to Bathurst next week. You're not gonna want to miss that one. I mean, tonight Barcelona's not an easy track to get to get your strategy right, because I can guarantee I think everyone's going to start on the harder compound tyre. Unless you're like a Dark Clark and you want to just try and escape, you know what I mean? Pit stops here take quite a while, so it's unlikely that a 2-stop's going to pay you back the advantage in 40 minutes. Hero Clark in Total Rose podium prediction. Ooh. Well, it all comes down to tyre wear now, doesn't it? The sprint race, you don't care about your tyres, but in the feature race it matters. So in the feature race, they've got to use 2 different compounds of tyre. That's traditionally the medium and the soft. You tend to find that most drivers will start the feature race on the harder compounded tyre, and then some will have a game plan. Some will just make a judgment call on the night. Because then, keyly, until the night, you don't know where you're going to start for the feature. You could be at the front, you could be at the back, and that plays a huge part into how your strategy might actually play out. If you're at the front, so this is your grid. If you're a Total Rosa, Fubuki, or Bobby, do you take a gamble and take the softs and just try and run away? Possible, could do it. Yeah, it's very possible. So that's your grid. Anyway, we've only got one of the Porsches. Dave's not here tonight. Dave, what are you not racing tonight, or? I did see a message somewhere along the line that said you're potentially not going to be able to make it. But I, in my famousness of skim reading group chats just to get the update, then I didn't see it. Right, we're getting ready to start race 2, the feature race. So let's while we're doing that, I think we're getting ready to get underway. Here we go. So, feature race time. Oh, I hope you're alright, mate. I hope you get better soon. Let's get rid of the names. I think it's cleaner without the names. Hopefully you can still keep up with it. So the finishing order of the sprint race sets the grid for the feature race, and we're about to get underway here at Castelluni for 40 minutes. The drivers are out, the lights are out, sorry, the drivers are away. It's the 2 Lexuses that really struggle to get away there, especially Bobby, who immediately plummets down to 5th. Hirakram gets by his teammate, who I can't imagine will have put up too much of a fight. Then you've got Visha weaving around the track. Bobby's going to try, sorry, Hirakram is going to try and put one down the inside just about as a nose in, but everyone keeps it clean, I think, through turn 1. No massive dramas kicking off at all. It's Shell Shock just trying to make a better go of it this time around. He's got 40 minutes to change his fortunes, but it's Fubuki immediately into the lead, then ahead of Total Rose, who himself is ahead of Dark Clark. Then it's Visho. Hirakram holding 5th at the moment. Importantly, Fubuki and Total Rose both on the soft compound of tyre, so in theory those two should really just start to pull a gap away. I'm just skimming through just to see what everyone else is doing. Everybody else is on the medium compound, so starting on the harder compounded tyre. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there between Visho and Dark Clark. That may have slowed Bobby up, did it? No, it slowed Hirakram up. Yeah, Hirakram's dropped back down behind Visho now. That was accidental, of course, and Shell Shock, I think that Shell Shock in the background, has sent himself into the beach. It's Bobby then on Dark Clark. It was a bit of a late move, in fairness, but he made it work. Lexus team play coming in. Oh, there was a bit of contact there from Hirakram, I think. It's all getting a little bit scrappy here in the background. We can go back and have a look at all this. I've replay marked it, so once this has all sorted itself out to a degree, we might well go back and have a look at it. But Hirocom has lost out big time from that, and so I would definitely say that the contact has hurt him more than anyone else, really. As he goes down to P7, so yeah, P7. P1 Don's been a bit of a silent assassin this race so far, up to P6, right behind P1 Don. Let's just have a little bit of a look from Hirocom's perspective. What on earth happened? So down to the hairpin. See Bobby go for the move. Dark Cloud lock. So that's what kickstarts it. Hirocom's up the inside then. And is ahead. Then there is Dark Cloud tries to. Yeah, it was 6 to 1 Alpha than the other. I think Dark Cloud just wanted his position back. And he had a nose in, so he kind of had a right to be there as well. But if that gets referred to the stewards, then they can definitely have a look at that. Anyway, the other Lexus, driven by one Monsieur Bob Ballisto, in P3 at the moment, ahead of V-Show. Then it's Toby in 5th. Oh, there's a car off in the background. Who was that? It was Fat Pickles, bro. Is off the circuit. He just lost control then. A little bit of a tap then from Richie, who had nowhere to go. Unfortunately, for Mercedes driver, who's having a bit of a bad night tonight. Mercedes driver back down then. A couple of positions. B-Flower, good luck. Clarkey got shafted there. Yeah, I mean, you are bad. You're his teammate, so you're bound to have his back. I could see that one of two ways, Connor. And I try and be impartial, mate. You know me. The two ways I'd see that are Hirocom's ahead and probably just about has more rights to the corner at that stage than Clarkey did. Clarkey also had a nose in and was entitled to the space, but also sent it a little bit, and you'd argue got curbed into Hirocom. I'd have to look at the replay to be like honest about, and that's what Sky F1 have got replays. I have not proper detailed ones anyway. Plus, there's racing going on that one. Bobby then got a bit of a penalty to get rid of. That's going to let V show up. Weird seeing Richie at the back. Well, I just don't think he's getting on with the Subaru, you know. Because I partnered with him last season, and like the guy's a rocket. And the Mercedes, he was flying. So I just don't think he likes the Subaru, you know. Yeah, he's running 10th at the moment. Is that Richie? Subaru proving a bit of a handful for him at the moment. It can be a good car. I just think you just need to, I don't know, wrestle it a little bit more. Yeah, it does, Connor, yeah. And that's what stewards are there for, mate, you know what I mean? So P1 Don now, though, as Hirocom's tried to get the better of him. I only say that, Connor, because I know what the curbs are like here. They can yeet you into next week, these things. So you do have to be very careful when you're overtaking. There's Bobby then, is he trying to get rid of a penalty? That's Toby ahead. A couple of cars ahead, you can see. V-Show starting to pull a little bit of a gap now to Bobby. Still got a bit of that penalty to get rid of. When he picks it up, I'm not sure. Couldn't tell you. But I don't know he's losing positions. Got that his teammate through here, he is. Or maybe not. Because Hirocom had a little bit of contact then with the rear end of P1 Don's car. Just as they were trying to all get out the corner at speed. And Bobby unfortunately falls from P3 down to P7. That is true. Good driver, helps me out. Yeah, Rich is a good bloke. Last season when we were partnered up, it was pretty much I'd do 20 minutes of testing. So I'd do all the work. I'd do all the tyre strategy work and say, a set of softs will do this, and this is the time you're aiming for, and then he'd just piss off into the distance with no practice. So, yeah. But yeah, you know, it was good fun. I enjoyed it. and unless it was in the Group 4 Mercedes, and that was an absolute horror show of a car. Fubuki then, P1 still fastest lap of the race, but I've still got to hand it to Toro Rose. The pace on it. I appreciate he's on the soft tyre, so he'll be, you know, he will be naturally quicker at the moment, but he's keeping pace with Fubuki, who's also on the soft tyre. The next car along is 8 seconds back, that's V-Show. So these medium guys, they'll be keeping an eye on just how much advantage that soft tyre gives you. They'll be seeing that we're 7 minutes in and they're already 8 seconds ahead. That will give you some idea of how to look for gaps when you're looking for your pit stop and stuff like that. You do need to factor that in. You know, Fubuki and Toro Rose will be aware that when they'll probably have to pit earlier than the mediums will. That will put them in a precarious position in terms of track position with all this lot. Racing League 3, but my PS not working hard. Hopefully it can get fixed, mate. Or someone else's. Everyone's got a PS4 these days. Top 2 playing this smart. Yeah, but my fear, Connor, is that where they'll pit out into. Do you know what I mean? So, depending on just how much of a gap they pull away, like in 8 minutes they've done 8-9 seconds. If they don't pit until the 20-minute mark, which is half distance, in theory, if my sort of calculations are about right, they'll pit out into the middle of this line, which isn't going to be very good for their race pace. Hirocom does manage to get the move made on P1 Don. P1 Don looks to have gone a little bit deep there, as Bobby's going to try and sneak one through as well, but P1 Don just about holds it in, doesn't manage to get the other Lexus though. So the 2 Lexus drivers, I think this weekend all they really need to do is both finish in the top 10. And as long as they do that, it sets us up for an absolute barnstormer towards the end of the season. P1 Don took a completely unorthodox line there. He took the Nikita Mazepin line as he just decided, oh, this piece of tarmac looks good. The game decided to punish him for a penalty as well. So, yeah, 9 seconds ahead of the top 2 now. V-Show's doing a decent job of keeping with them. He's putting himself in a really good position. Him and Toby putting themselves in a good position for the end of the race. It's going to be a question as to what Hirocom and Bobby can do. The mediums at the moment really not wearing away. We have seen the soft tyre easily go 15 minutes here. And to be fair to Fubuki and Toro Rose, there's barely any wear on those tyres at all as well. So it's looking like the soft tyre actually might go further than we think. Of course, Toby gets it wrong. Is that going to open the door for Hirocom? It's definitely going to bring him into slipstream range coming down the hairpin. Expect Toby to go very defensive then down into the hairpin as Bobby invents his own track limits. What can Hirocom do here? He's going to be too far back to make a move. I thought Toby had it then, but he gathered it up nicely. Unfortunately for the 2 Lexus drivers, they've not been able to take advantage of Toby's little whoopsie. Bobby might have even picked up another penalty. In fact, yes, he has. He's got until the end of lap 8 to get rid of it, so time left for Bobby to sort that out. He's got a dark cloud moving down his neck, but he might just be able to burn that away organically. Lev 9th at the moment, with Richie still in P10. Starting to build a gap away from a left seat fan. Then you got James in 12th, Pickles in 13th, and then Shellshock not having a great day in P14. I just don't think he likes Bathurst. He's a quick enough driver with Shellshock. He just obviously doesn't like Spain very much. He's obviously watched Benidorm and thought, you know what, I'm out. I'm not having any of this lifestyle. Starting to hot up then between Hirocom and Toby. About a lap ago we saw Toby have a little bit of a whoopsie down at turn 6, and Hirocam has been right in his pocket ever since. And the McLaren driver just about keeping ahead of the Lexus for the time being. Strategically doesn't want to get embroiled in a big fight with Hirocam. He wants to keep V-Show roughly in his window as well. So within 2 seconds for Toby is going to be where he needs to sit. Fuel levels and tyre degradation between all these roughly about the same. Hirocam's done a decent job on fuel saving though, as you'd expect. Yeah, what Toby doesn't want to do is have a multi-lap battle with Hirocam and lose his time to V-Show. He needs to play this one smart. There's still half an hour to go. There we go, mouse. In terms of when we'll expect pit stops, I honestly don't think we'll see any for a little while. Kabuki and Total Rose now separated by less than a tenth of a second. I say that in the Dark Clark pit. Dark Clark then, is he going to try and go half an hour on a set of soft tyres? That's brave. I was just about to say I don't think the softs will go a full 20 minutes, let alone half an hour. So teams will be watching where he filters out into traffic though, and he currently filters, he's going to filter out in 13th place with a decent enough gap to, and we've seen Clarky do this before. He has gone out into clear air on soft tyres and he's just put lap time after lap time in. Hope is that the advantage he gains by doing this we'll see him through to the end of the race in terms of track position and difficulty to overtake here at Catalunya be quite high. You saw in the sprint race just how difficult it was for some of these drivers to make it through the pack. Because there's turn 1 and there's turn 8, or turn 10 in it down here, which is the hairpin, obviously remodelled for Formula 1 this year. Now it's a long sweeping corner. Sharp corner on the old layout, as you can see. Toby yet again fails to get the back end of that McLaren sat down comfortably. Not enough track really going down into that corner to get close enough. You really have to have a really good overlap speed to get a move successfully made there. And then turn 1 overtakes are set up here by a good exit, and a good exit is made there by Hirocam. Balance your throttle coming through the final corner, make sure you're steady. That is V-Show getting rid of a penalty, and then it's going to be Hirocam then suddenly with the option then of getting into a podium position. Toby's going to try this. Toby's hanging it in there. Really good defence by the McLaren driver, and he's kept that ahead. That was beautiful driving then by Toby to keep that ahead of Hirocam. Let's check in then with Dark Clark. Yeah, so he's on the softs in his full tanked it, so he's setting himself up to go to the end here. Yeah, kind of ballsy. On any car, mate. On any car, that's a ballsy move. It's a lot of laps, dude. So it's going to be about 12, 13 laps. Thereabouts. It's going to be rough, that. So yet again we're seeing a pattern emerge here, with the battle really being for that final podium position. It's Toby yet again. You just feel Toby's just pushing the envelope a bit too much, and he's on the brink of disaster pretty much every single corner. He's holding it together so far. That McLaren, whether it's a bit of a lively beast or not, I'm not too sure, but every time Toby tries to get the power down a little bit too early, it kicks him off. And you can see he's careful with curbs. Citroen's very good here until tyres go, and then that chicane's hell. Yeah, I can imagine. I can genuinely just imagine that car being an absolute handful on worn tyres. As Hirocam yet again is going to try and go down the inside. Toby this time is going to have to try and go for the cutback. Hirocam's going to cover that just by parking the car on the apex. Toby's next opportunity then is a bit of a dive down into turn 4. You set that move up by getting a good drive out of here. That's what he's trying to do. This is where Hamilton and Nico Rosberg had their famous collision. Of course, for Toby now, because Visho's had that penalty to serve, he doesn't necessarily have to worry too much about keeping Visho in his window. Got a little bit more of a free rein to fight here from here for that P3 on the road position. And likewise, Hirocom really just got nothing to lose tonight. He's, as long as he finishes, I guess, it sets us up for it. He's got a chance at the last race. When hopefully we do have Tommy Conqueror back, fighting fit and out of hotel Wi-Fi and fully able to bring the fight, the battle on the mountain, as we're going to dub it. Of course, that's going to be the Route 4 machinery, so that's going to be the Route 4 Lexus, which is a good, powerful car. Visho suddenly leaps himself. What's happened there? I was too busy chatting about next week. I forgot we've got a race going on now, so let's have a look. Visho, P5. Them two, it's that busy fighting away. Visho suddenly got the optimal line. There's a little bit of contact, you feel, between Toby and Hirocom. Can we go back and have a look at that? Let's go and have a look. Toby pits, actually, so let's just go back to... I need to go back a bit further than that, don't I? Let's just do this. So let's ride on board with Toby. No, didn't get enough of it there. Let's try again. Yeah, this is it. Sorry about that. Yeah, there was contact, wasn't there? Which is why he waited. Makes sense now. Fortunately, that's cost here a contract position V-Shell, but massive news for Total Rose and Fubuki. They've now got a 13-second lead over these blokes. And that means they've got to undo that deficit when they do their soft stint. I would imagine we'll start to see a lot of stops now. I think we'll start to see them. Because looking at the time of 21 minutes, Fubuki and Total Rose, yeah, the tyres are going off a little bit, but they're doing the same time as the guys behind them on mediums now. There or thereabouts anyway, so now's the crossover point for that soft tyre. Now, if you're a race strategist, you're on the pit wall. If you're a Hirocom, if you're a Bobby, if you're a P1 Don, anyone in this little train of cars, you pit. That's what Toby did. Just pitted that lap earlier. Of course, he's going to have the older tyres towards the end of the race, but you've got track position. You've seen how difficult it is to make a move here in Catalonia. I would imagine, yeah, we're going to see V-Show in. The Lexuses stay out there. No one else pits from this leading group. Will Richie come in? Will LFC fan come in? No, they don't. They're all leaving it till lap 12 onwards. I think Toby did pick the perfect lap. Look at the times. Because these guys on softs are now in the low and mid 46s. Granted, you can do 45s on the mediums, but they're going off now as well. So the crossover point now, when the mediums are the same speed as, when the softs are the same speed as the mediums would be. Even when worn, is when you really want to pit, and even better that we're now past the halfway point in the race. So, yeah, I think Toby should get a nice undercut here. He's got a nice clear track ahead of him. He can start really pumping in those laps. He's overcut V-Show as well just by doing that. A lap earlier then for Toby had a really beastly out lap. Dark Clark, let's have a check-in on him. He has set the fastest lap of the race. Dark Clark dipped into the 43s. He's caught the back of Pickles, who hasn't yet pitted. He's been running the 47, so Dark Clark then absolutely smashing pace, but he's already got a little bit of tyre wear on those softs. So will these guys on softs decide to come in anytime soon? I probably wouldn't think they will. No, they don't, and I didn't expect that. Will the Lexuses then double stack the cars? Hirocom's done a good job of fuel saving. That'll help him a little bit at the pits. Will these boys decide to dive into the pits now? Looks like Hirocom's diving for the pits, so is Bobby. So the Lexuses are going for the double stack. Don Mental Nev carries on. Richie, does he pit? He is. LFC fans going to dive in as well. They're all heading for the pits. Will James Harben in the pits in the Porsche. Fuck's sake, Chris. Yeah, will he dive in? Yeah, it's too late, I think. I think Toby might just have done enough. Dart Clark then. So Dart Clark, importantly, has undercut everybody now. So he's going to be a bit of a rolling roadblock towards the end of the race. So he goes into P5, but this is a lot higher position on the road. Toby, undercut everybody then. So the two Lexuses come out nose to tail. So that new order for P3 is now Dart Clark, Toby, V-Show, Hirocram and Bobby. Bobby's short-fueled quite a lot. I think Hirocram was terrified after the Tokyo disaster where he short-fueled too much, and Tommy Concrete just reeled him in like a fish on a line, basically. Having a look at the times, these boys on the softs are still in the 45s. You stay out there, don't you? You don't pit yet. I don't know is though. Feels his time is now. So what gap did they see? Because guys behind him will come out in their window. P1 Don's not pitting yet. He's not pitting yet either. Don. Yeah, this is going to be weird, this, towards the end of the race. This really throws up a lot of predictions in the air, because that undercut by Dart Clark has completely thrown everybody. I will argue he's already starting to lose pace on those tyres. Not by a lot, but it's getting there. So where does Total Rose come out? Total Rose comes out P4. The first car that has pitted, but Dart Clark's undercut was that powerful he's nearly caught Total Rose up. That's how quick he was going when those softs were fresh. Has he done enough here to just put Hirocram and Co completely out of the works? He is 6.2 seconds to the good ahead of Toby. Now Toby again can do the Citroen team a bit of a solid here and just hold everybody up as long as possible. Toby also on fresh softs as well, so he's not going to be slow himself. Then it's V-Show and Hirocram. Then it's Bobby, which is a good 10 seconds back from these. Fabuki does pit from the lead of the race. We'll see if P1 Don, Mental Nev come in. They're the two remaining question marks in this race. P1 Don pits and Mental Nev also pits. So pretty much going to be most people have pitted now. James Harben in the pits as well. So yeah, after this everyone will have pitted. Changed tyres. We will see where this brings everybody out. So Total Rose now coming under pressure on Dart Clark. So looking out fresh mediums on for Fabuki. Total Rose though has gone back onto soft tyres. Is he going to have to pit again to put the mediums on? Because he didn't put the mediums on at the start, so he's got to pit for softs again, for mediums, surely. And he's got a good 3 laps on him, I'm sure that's the rule. So he's going to have to come into the pits in about 5 minutes time minimum just to change those tyres. So that's going to give everyone behind him a bump up in the standings. Hirocram goes fastest of everybody now, a 43.9. Slightly quicker than Dart Clark's effort, who's now a solid P3 on the road. Great drive for Fabuki so far. Yeah, he's done good, hasn't he? But he's going to get chased down on that medium compound. It's just a case of whether Dark Clark's tyres go off by the time he gets it. But that's an audacious undercut there by Dark Clark. It might work out for him, it might not. Hirocram then up to P5. Hirocram beat Toby, version 2. Coming to a screen near you. Any lap now. That's about to happen, you feel. Hirocram's in the ascendancy at the moment. Fastest lap of the race so far. Has got those tyres in a nice window at the moment and really starting to put his stamp on this race. He needs to, with Tommy Concrete not being here this week. He's gonna need all the points really he can get. Because up until this race it was pretty much over for Hirocram's title hopes. They have been reinvigorated and he's driving like a reinvigorated man now and he's going for that P4 against Toby. We've seen this numerous times tonight though. Toby loves to hang this move around the outside or go for the cutback. It looks like he's going for that cutback. He's going to go for the best drive out of turn 2 he can and go back for that move through turn 4. Toby's done that a couple of times tonight. We're right on board with the McLaren. Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying. You can see the body language of that car. And don't think he's going to have enough this time round. Hirocram's wise to it. He's going to defend to that. And you feel that Toby's just gone a little bit too deep. Looks like we've lost James Harben, who's we've heard from his team who's had a little bit of a technical issue, which means he may or may not be returning to the race. We'll wait and see. We'll see what the Porsche does tonight. Dark Clark is wheeled in Total Rose. Hirocram stayed ahead of Toby. It's gone even faster that last lap of 43.7. I feel this lap won't be a fastest lap again, but Hirocram has 4.8 seconds now to Dark Clark. In terms of lap time, he's going, let's just say, considerably faster. Yeah, about 6 to 8 tenths a lap faster than Dark Clark at the moment, with 10 minutes remaining. James Harben then is back out of the pits. Porsche now a lap down, will concede position to the cars behind him and just make sure he doesn't get involved in any of these battles. And the battle that he is in the middle of at the moment, or pulls out of the way of, is Hirocram, Toby, V-Show and Bobby. This is the battle we've been keeping an eye on all race. This is the battle for P4 that has captured so many hearts and minds tonight, and everybody's been involved in this at one point. Buki still in job so far, still holding out at the front, I must add. Total Rose, I'm confident Total Rose still needs to pit, because he's not ran the medium tyre yet. So let's put Dark Clark then in a net P2. Being caught somewhat considerably fast by Hirocram behind him, and Hirocram, he's pushing like crazy at the moment. Hirocram, you can feel Dark Clark's tyres just starting to wane now. Like the car hasn't got the grip that it had back in lap 9. This car pitted with half an hour remaining. It's been on these tyres for nigh on 20 minutes now. He's done more than a sprint race's distance on these tyres, and we've still got 9.5 minutes to go in this one. Citroen just looks like it's struggling for grip. Hirocram is lumping time out of it on an almost lap by lap basis, and he's going faster and faster and faster. 43.9 that time. That's 3 laps in the 43s then for Hirocram. He's having to put away the attention of Toby, who himself is going into the 43s now. Just trying to break that slipstream is the Lexus. Hirocram's rear gunner, unfortunately, is stuck behind V-Show for the time being. V-Show himself starting to go faster than he was before. Bobby's dipped into the 43s, but back in the 44s for the time being. It's P1 Don in 8th position. Richie up a position now in 9th, and Mental Lev in 10th. LFC Fan, a bit of a fall from grace for LFC Fan in 11th place at the moment. Fat Pickles in 12th after all his issues. Shell Shock 13th and a minute ahead of James Harben. in P14 after that technical issue. Took the Porsche out of any contention, but he's back out and he's back going round at least for pride and some points. And Fabuki then now caught by Total Rose. Dark Clark not really able to impact that little battle at all. Unfortunately, Dark Clark is now in the position where he's just going to be defending from here on out. Talking of defending from here on out, that's V-Show's job against Bobby. Bobby's now starting to wind the Lexus up a little bit. Start to put V-Show under some pressure. V-Show's lines are often compromised by the McLaren in front of him, so if Bobby can just take advantage of a mishap somehow or a misplaced throttle, the Lexus can potentially take some advantage. But you see just how much Hiraman's escaped from Toby in a lap. 1.6 seconds in a lap, and that's just how much Toby's having to defend there from V-Show. The Subaru's going to look for a move here then. Will Toby defend this one as much as he has before? Yep. He'll try and keep a nose in. All's fair in love and war at the moment. There's a slight tap. Bobby tries to make his way through as well. There's no love lost between these two, but all's fair at the moment. That has put Bobby through. Toby unfortunately just runs out of road. From Toby's POV what that was like. So you see he just got caught on the dirty side of the track, so this puts marbles and all bits of weird and wonderful rubber on your tyres. And then when he came to brake for this corner, just didn't have the braking performance, and he just had to get out of it. Or did he just lag there for a bit? Well, he might have just lagged out for a little bit. That might be what that was. In other news, Dark Clark really now got to come under pressure from here. Dark Clark's really struggling on those tyres. Yeah, Total Rose pits now, so I don't know whether that was an issue with the pit crew or what went on, but that's going to unfortunately put Total Rose down a few positions while he just changes those tyres. He won't need to take any fuel on. It'll be a shorter stop, but it'll still absorb time. Dark Clark, as predicted, defends this one to the hill, but those tyres just aren't going to have the grip, and here it comes. Easy going to be able just to swing this one around the outside. Dark Clark then the Citroen ultimately mostly powerless to do anything about this. The Lexus head's just going to have infinitely better grip. His problem now is, can he stay ahead of Bobby? He's not going to be able to do too much about Hiraman, who will now predictably just escape up the road. If V-Show and Bobby work together for a few minutes, they can catch Dark Clark. If you're listening, boys, just saying. Feel free to battle, it's better TV, but you know, it's up to you how you play it. What else have we got going on? I'd apologise if you're a bit further down the field, by the way. I've tried to sort of keep an eye on you, but ultimately I've lost my way somewhere. So next thing to watch is, can Hiraman and Warren Softs catch Fabuki on fresh mediums? Fabuki's doing a consistent mid-45, low mid-45. Nothing. Yeah, he's. I applaud the strategy though. I really do applaud the strategy, but it was definitely. I mean, it still put him up a few positions, hasn't it? Because if these two start fighting, it's a podium. You know, it's worth doing it. It's worth doing it. And so far speaking, anyway, he's pulled it off. So yeah, Fabuki doing a nice consistent mid-45. Hiraman's going arguably a second a lap faster on those soft compounds of tyre. I would expect that time to wane into the 45s also in the coming laps. So Fabuki might have just done enough to stay ahead. We'll keep an eye on it. Arguably Hiraman's going to start reeling him in, but it's whether he's got enough time left in the race to do anything. Bobby has a small penalty to get rid of, but it's kind of insignificant in a sense that he's got to try and reel the Citroen ahead in and also not lose a position to Visho. And Visho's got to try and do the same. If he can just stick with Bobby, not give the Lexus too much of a hard time and just wait to have that fight until they've caught the car ahead. Because the pace they're doing, they're catching Clarkey at quite a rate, second a lap easy. And obviously Clarkey's tyres are just getting worse and worse every corner. The front left is decimated. Going to be close, very close indeed. We set up for a grandstand final 3 minutes here. So a final 2 laps, however you want to cut it. Got to applaud Clarkey's pace on those tyres, to be fair. It's impressive that he's churning out these lap times on those tyres. Hirocrams took another 4 tenths out of Fubuki since we've last checked in. Bobby's taken 4 tenths out of Dark Clark since we've last checked in. Visho is right up Bobby's chuff as Bobby serves that penalty. Visho leaps into P4, then it's going to be on Visho to do the chasing on the Citroen as we enter the final 2 laps of this race here, round 7 of the Infinity GT Manufacturers Series, live from Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Bobby's immediately going to try and get that place back. It was quite clever how he burned that penalty, because that means he gets a slipstream on the Subaru down the main straight and can take that position back almost immediately. So well played there by Bobby. Straight back into P4. Admittedly, Visho didn't put up too much of a fight about it. We've got a yellow flag. Who's that? Who's brought the yellow flag out? That's James. He's just parked up on the side of the track. I'm assuming the technical issues for the Porsche outfit have reared their head yet again. So, by my calculations, or quackulations as Bobby would like me to say it, he should be in slipstream range of Dark Clark by the main straight, if not sooner. And then he'll be in a position potentially to make a move going down into turn 1, and then it's all going to be on the final lap. Fubuki at this minute in time has done enough. If he does the same lap again, it's fine. He's got enough of a gap over here to take the lead. Fubuki, if that's what you do, congrats, mate. That's been a... And I just feel for Total Rose, you know, because I have no doubt that what he did was a mistake in terms of taking the soft again. He drove brilliantly this week, and it doesn't deserve to be down in P11. Really doesn't deserve that. So on to the last lap we go then. It's Fubuki v Hirocram. It's Dark Clark versus the world though for P3. As Bobby's gonna have all the suck in the world on the Citroen, and he's bringing Visho along for the party. He's not quite gonna be close enough, is he? No, he thought about it, but the Lexus not quite in the window at the moment. If Clarkey can defend like an absolute demon then for the next 12-13 corners, he might have just done enough against the Lexus, but time will tell. In terms of battles a little bit further back, I think we can just look away from this for the time being. We do have Richie versus Mental Dev, and Total Rose v LFC Fan kicking off as well. As it stands, Total Rose looks like it might be able just to better tyres take that one. Certainly having a look at it. But as we near the closing stages, it's difficult to take our eyes off the leading battle then, as Bobby has got Dark Clark. Let's see how he did that. It was down into turn 6. Just had better grip. Clarkey's tried again though to get him back. There's contact, there's all sorts. Clarkey's not going down without a fight. It's Clarkey. Visho might be able to get around the outside of the ailing Citroen as well. Down to the last final few corners then. Will Visho be able to do anything here? The McLaren of Toby's desperately trying to do something, but it's Fubuki that wins the race. Hirocram P2. Bobby's going to grab third right at the death. Dark Clark's going to hold on for P4. Then it's Visho in 5th. Toby 6th. Then it's P1 Donny in 7th. Rich is going to take 8th place. 9th for Mental Mev. LFC Fan is still holding on P10 ahead of Total Rose. In fact, he might not, because LFC Fan's got a penalty, and I think Total Rose might just take him at the line. Yes, he does by 300ths per second. And then Fat Pickles Bro, who has had a bit of a night to forget for the Mercedes outfit. And not sure what quite went wrong, unfortunately. But that's it. Well done to Fabuki for the race win, of course. It's a what could have been for some drivers, though, but that's done. Hero Ram's title ambitions, no harm at all. And that set us up, really has set us up for a bit of a grandstand race. Fabuki, of course, is out of the title fight. He was quite a few points down, unfortunately. But it's certainly going to... It's secured his P3, really, hasn't it? It's made that a little bit more safe. Good recovery from Clarkey. Keeps us in it at Bathurst. Yeah, definitely. That result for Clarkey means that Citroen do still take some decent points away from this. And haven't just spaffed it all up the wall, which was important for the overall. So yeah, there's hope. There's definitely hope. Sorry for the lap 1 move. I don't know if I saw that lap 1 move. I'm not sure I even clocked that. Alright, well. You're not going to want to miss next week. Let me tell you that for free. So, next week, this time, so 9 o'clock-ish, next Tuesday night, make sure you're here, make sure you're watching. It's about 3 different ones. We're going to be in the Group 4 machinery, we're going to be down in Australia, Mount Panorama, sprint and feature. It's gonna be all to play for, and we'll try and work out some permutations in the meantime. Let me get you some screenshots, Mr. Infinity, just so that you can do your points. And then yeah, we'll see you then. So thank you very much for watching. If you have been, subscribe if you're not already. It's free. It means you get updated when we're live and we're in your feed and all that sort of stuff. Next live for me, don't know if I'm going to be live until this next week, but I will have some GTTCC coverage for you next week as well. So yeah, thanks for that. See you then, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you down under.